If you're pregnant right now, scrolling at 2 a.m. after another appointment left you feeling anxious, or maybe your child is already here struggling with colic, reflux, sleep issues, or sensory challenges, this video is going to change everything that you thought you knew about where these problems actually start. Here's what most parents never hear. The modern American pregnancy experience, with its constant monitoring, testing, and fear-based messaging, creates chronic stress that doesn't just affect you. It directly programs your baby's developing nervous system. This is not about guilt. Let me make that clear. This is about understanding what happened so you can understand what your child actually needs. This video is for moms who felt anxious, who felt stressed or overwhelmed during pregnancy, and now wonder if it affected their baby. It's for parents whose children struggle with colic, reflux, sleep, sensory issues, or developmental delays, and who sense that something is deeper going on that nobody is addressing. In this video, you're going to discover why modern pregnancy experience creates chronic nervous system stress, how your stress signals cross the placenta and shape your baby's brain development, what research shows about babies who are born to stressed mothers, why these challenges don't get better with time, they just get different labels, and the path forward through neurologically focused chiropractic care. Here's something that puts this in perspective. Your great-grandmother probably had 4 or 5 prenatal appointments during her entire pregnancy. No routine ultrasounds, no genetic testing, no glucose challenges. But today, you're having 12 to 15 routine appointments, multiple ultrasounds, various blood draws, glucose tolerance tests, non-stress tests if you're labeled high risk, constant monitoring that sends a clear message. Something could be wrong at any moment. In a 2017 study published in Development and Psychopathology, tracked mothers and children from pregnancy through age 6. The findings? Babies born to mothers with high prenatal stress showed nervous systems that were 22% more reactive at 6 months old. These babies also showed lower self-regulation capacity and greater risk for anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems as they grew. 22% more reactive before they even left the womb. So first, let's talk about the biology of maternal stress. When you experience stress during pregnancy, it is not just emotional, it's biological. Your HPA axis responds to stress by releasing cortisol. Short bursts of cortisol are normal, but chronic elevation from constant appointments, test results, and we need to watch this type of messaging is where the problem lies. Your placenta has a protective enzyme that converts active cortisol into inactive cortisone before it reaches baby. But chronic stress overwhelms this protection. Active cortisol is then crossing the placenta and reaching your baby's developing brain. It's important to note that your baby's baseline normal is being programmed based on your nervous system state. So I want you to understand that the umbilical cord does more than just deliver nutrients. You can think of it kind of like an electrical power cord, not just a feeding tube. It carries signals from your nervous system directly to your baby's developing nervous system. And when your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode, those signals then transmit to baby. Your baby's brain structures form in a stress-adapted pattern, and the amygdala, the fear center part of the brain, develops larger and more reactive. The vagus nerve forms with low tone, affecting regulation of heart and lungs, digestion, and emotions. This is not just genetics. It's the nervous system programming during the most critical developmental window. So what is getting programmed in your baby's brain? Prenatal stress affects specific brain structures that control everything from emotional regulation to learning. Babies startle easily and struggle to calm down because the amygdala is overreactive. Learning and emotional regulation suffers because the hippocampus shows reduced volume. Controlling emotional responses becomes harder due to altered prefrontal cortex connectivity. The vagus nerve is responsible for calming down the entire body, but it develops with low tone. Neurotransmitter systems for serotonin and dopamine establish stress-reactive patterns. Your baby enters the world with a nervous system already stuck in sympathetic dominance. Here's what nobody tells you then. These signals don't improve with time, they evolve. The same nervous system dysregulation that causes colic at 2 months becomes constipation at 6 months, and sensory sensitivities show up at 18 months. ADHD signs appear around age 5. Anxiety emerges by age 10. The neurology doesn't change. The medical system just gives it a different name as your child grows. They don't grow out of it, they grow into it, unless the nervous system is addressed. So, what is the path moving forward? Address the foundation. If your child's nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode from prenatal programming, their body physically cannot digest properly, sleep deeply, regulate emotions, fight infections effectively, or calm down after being upset, you can do dietary changes, you can do supplements, you can do behavioral therapy, sleep training, and occupational therapy. All of these can help, but if the foundational nervous system dysfunction isn't addressed, you are building on a cracked foundation. Neurologically focused chiropractic care addresses subluxation created by prenatal stress. Insight scans show exactly where sympathetic dominance exists and how suppressed the parasympathetic side of the nervous system is. The adjustments are incredibly gentle. No more pressure than checking to see how ripe a tomato is. Once we remove the interference and restore neurological function, the body's healing capacity emerges. Whether you're still pregnant and want to support your baby's nervous system development, or your child is already showing signs of dysregulation, the path forward is the same. Address the nervous system at its foundation. The perfect storm started before birth, but understanding what is really happening is the first step toward giving your child what their nervous system actually needs. Click the link in our bio, DM us, or schedule directly with my team and I at Rochester Chiropractic and Wellness. We would love to help you understand what is really going on and what you can do about it. Your child does not need more labels, they need answers.